Hey guys, welcome back to Python and Linux. In this lecture, we're going to be learning about pipes and filters and ways to kind of a little more advanced ways to navigate the terminal for doing multiple commands at the same time in the case of pipes. Let's go ahead, jump right on into it. Alright, last time I tried to record this, I didn't show up for some reason, but I'm here now, so I think we're good to go. Alright, first things first, we're going to open up our terminal. So now that we know a lot of the basic commands, we can actually start to kind of dig into some of the deeper, more advanced commands that come in the Linux environment. So first thing we want to do is we want to navigate. So remember some of these commands. ls shows us, lists everything we have. We want to navigate to our data that we were playing with. So desktop, classroom, my files. This should have your stuff in it. I'm going to have to go to data shell. And then I want to go to shell lesson data. And I want to go to exercise data. And then I want to go to proteins. Oh, maybe I should do cd proteins. All right, so as you can see here, we have a few different files. We have cubane, ethane, methane, octane, pentane, propane. So let's do this command wc cubane.pbd. And so wc stands for word count. So it is looking at the file. It counts the number of lines, words, and characters in the file. So there's 20 lines, 156 words, 1158 characters, and then it gives the name of the file again. So what we can also do is we can do, I'm going to clear just to get this at the top again. So that last command, this wc cubane. All right, so I pull that back up. We can do wc, and we can use this regular expression that if you took R, you remember, and it's kind of like, I don't want to say cheat codes, but like puzzle stuff. I don't know how to explain it the best way, but anyways, if we use asterisk dot pdb, that means asterisk means any word, letter, combination of letters, combination of symbols that ends in pbd. So if you do this, it looks through the folder and it says, okay, I'm going to do word count for anything that ends in pdb. So you can see that we have the lines again, the word number, and the character number for everything. And it gives us a nice total, which is kind of cool. And so we can also do wc-l. Oops, I'm missing, and then we have to do, it's not going to do it unless I finish the command. I think I got it hung up. Don't do what I just did. Alright, I need to cd back to where I was going, or where it was, desktop, classroom, my files, data, shell, lesson data, exam, exercise data. This is just off the top of my, top of my head. Okay, we're in the right spot again. Alright, we want wc-l, and then our asterisk.pdb. And so this shows just the number of lines. And so for all of our files, you could also do just, I'm gonna change this to just M, which gives us the number of characters. And then if I do this to W, it should give us the number of words, etc. So you can pull out single things, or if you do just the WC command, it'll just give you everything. Oh, so I got it hung up. Right, WC-L. And since it doesn't have a file name, it just sits there and waits, right? And so this is the problem I had, and I closed the terminal. That's one way you can do it. But the other thing you can do, I made a note to myself, oops. Oh, it's not gonna do it on here, huh? Interesting. So usually you can Control-C out of it, right? But because we're in this environment, it's not going to let us exit out. Let's just do so you do have to exit out, because it's usually if you're doing this on Linux you'll have no problem, but since this is a virtual machine, it seems like some of these commands are a little bit funky. Okay, so let's keep going. So let's CD back into desktop, classroom, my files, data, exercise data, right? What was it? Shell lesson, shell, that exercise, and then proteins. Okay, so we're back in the protein. Let's talk about capturing outputs from commands. So what if we want to know which of these files has the fewest lines? It would be easy for us to look at that WC printout, right, and be like, oh, that's easy. You know, if we do WC and then star.pdd, we can say, oh, look at fewest lines would be methane, right? 9 lines. What if you have like 6,000 files in here, right? Then it becomes a pain in the butt, right? So let's do WC-L asterisk.pdb is greater than lengths.txt. So the greater symbol here tells the shell to redirect the command's output to a file instead of printing it to screen. So what we're saying is print the output of this WC command, so essentially this table, print that to this lengths.txt file. So now, and you'll notice we don't see the output that we saw before because it's printed that file, so it doesn't do both, it just prints it to that file. If the file doesn't exist prior to this command, it creates that text file. If it does exist, it will be overwritten. So make sure you're careful with using these, like writing to file like this because it will overwrite your data. So let's do ls lengths.text, and you can see it's there and it exists. So now what we can do is we can use this concatenate function. So concatenate is a function that joins multiple files together, right? But kind of like the move function, which is also a rename function, this concatenate function we can use to print out the contents of a file, because it would print out both files contents if we actually combine two, but if we only give it one, it'll just print out the contents of one file, right? So if we concatenate lengths.txt, you can see that it prints out everything that we have in here, right? And so this is our printout of when we put right here the lengths into the lengths.txt, right? Okay, so that's how we kind of saved a file. So another option, so concatenate will print everything. Another option is to use less, and so less will only print a screen at a time. So if you have a file that's like 10,000 lines or something like that, concatenate's gonna just keep printing, and it's just like too much sometimes. So if you use less, it'll print at a screen at a time, and you can press Q to quit, which is nice. Spacebar will go to the next page, and B will go back, and then Q quits for the less command. Okay. So now let's look at sort. So we can sort the data. So sort n lengths.txt. So you can see that we've sorted our text file based on the line numbers from smallest to largest. We could sort and save them to a temporary file. So if we do this, and then we say sorted, remember always use dashes or underscores. So if you do sort, and then that command that printed this before, and then we just pipe it, or we use that arrow to save it to that file. Now you can see we have a file called sorted lengths. If we do less sorted lengths, you can see that we have the sorted lengths saved to a file now. And then to get out of this, we say Q. Another option instead of less is to use head. So head n gives us how many lines that we want to read the first section of. So we're going to say head 3 or n3 sorted lengths, and that will give us the first 3 rows of the file, right? So we did give us the first 3, n equals 3, head, so the top 3 of our sorted lengths text file. Let's see. What if we use, let's try, okay, so we have this, actually I'm going to clear out of this so we can have some more space that be down at the bottom here. All right, so what if we do this command, we used sort lengths txt, and then we added to this, we're going to do sorted text to.txt. But what if we made this the double, these double arrows like this? What happens? Okay, so now let's do head. Let's do less sorted text to see. Okay, so it does the same thing initially, right? So we have our methane sorted protein files. But what if we run it again? And we do now less sorted text again. You can see now we have double. So what the double arrow means is to append onto the end of your text file, right? So we ran it once, we saved it to this sorted to text file, then we said sort these protein lengths again and add it to that same file, so it just added more onto it. So if you use the single greater than symbol, it will overwrite everything. If you use the double greater than symbol, it'll just add to the end of the file, so it'll keep adding more. So kind of like if you were to run some sort of log of an error log or something like that, you'd want the double symbol where it just keeps adding to it instead of every time it gets to a new step writing over it, right? Because you want a detailed list of everything. What do we have for time-wise? Okay, I think that's a good stopping spot for this video. We'll continue, whoops, and I'm gonna go to fade to black. So I'll continue, we'll continue in our next video with piping, with more piping, I should say. Right now we kind of have gotten a little bit into kind of writing files and things like that, but we'll get more into piping the output of one command into another command, etc. in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something. If you're watching on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. We'll finish up our pipes and filters in the next video and then continue on our Linux journey to set us up for doing some Python computational biology. So